Mauritius, a small tropical island of 2,040 kilometers square in the Indian Ocean, located off the southeast coast of Africa, known for its hospitality, savory food, and warm beaches. Islands in the Indian Ocean are no stranger to nature's occasional fury. During summer, the heaven can quickly become a real nightmare if we are hit by a cyclone. People sometimes get confused, but hurricane, typhoons, and cyclones are the same thing, but just given different names in different oceans. You are not afraid of cyclones? Maybe you should be. Did you know? Tropical cyclones constitute one of the most powerful atmospheric phenomena. Mauritius has always been hit by cyclones since 1892, as per the records, but we have seen that not much people know well about this phenomenon. With a noted experience in the past, the government of Mauritius ensures safety of the public. Mauritius Meteorological Services, situated at Vakwa, is the main station of both Mauritius and Rodrigues Island. There, they will monitor the weather and alert the media of any warning if necessary. We were there to meet Mr. Raghunath Veerasamy, Acting Deputy Director at the Meteorological Station at Vakwa, who will explain to us more scientific views about cyclones.
I'm Dr. Veerasamy. I'm actually Acting Deputy Director at the Mauritius Meteorological Services.
What are the dangers that can occur when a cyclone occurs?
Well, when we look back in time, especially when we look back at the history of Mauritius, we find that cyclones play a very important role at all levels. And why so? Because of the destruction it is associated with. So it starts with strong wind. When we are talking of strong wind, it can go more than 200 kilometers per hour, up to 300 kilometers per hour in gusts. As well as heavy rainfall, you can have more than 100 to 200 millimeters in a very short period of time, so that's going to cause flooding. So imagine at the same time you are having extremely windy and gusty weather with heavy rainfall. That's going to be very, very bad for anybody. Also, we are a small island, so another risk that comes to us is called a storm surge. What is a storm surge? That's the increase in the wind that bring it more, I would say, swells. Swells is usually associated with the cyclone, so it's going to bring swells as well as a wind wave. That goes up to 5 to 10 meters. So imagine all that volume of water coming near the coast, so that's going to cause coastal inundation and affect all the coastal livelihood of the people.
Did you ever wonder how meteorologists proceed to name a cyclone? Here's the answer.
Okay, that's a very nice question. It's a very nice question. Actually, it's not something that it's dependent on me. It's not dependent on my director, even if he's the director of the Met Services, or it's not even dependent on the government. How it happened is that every year we meet all the countries in the region, from Mauritius, Madagascar, Kenya, that is all countries that can be affected by the cyclone. We all meet. Then we all bring a list of names, and then each country, it's like it's at random, and they are chosen. And then after the meeting, we come with a list from A to Z, with all the names that's going to be given to the cyclone. And it's good to know that Mauritius has a responsibility, has a mandate at the regional level to name all cyclones. So it's only Mauritius who name all cyclones in the Indian Ocean, among all the countries.
How do you know if a cyclone brings rain or not? Because not all cyclones have rain.
Yes.
There's some that don't.
Well, when you look at a cyclone, each cyclone is different in itself. It has its different specificities, characteristics, strength. It can be big cyclone, it can be small cyclone, it can be mid-jet cyclone, that even if it crosses like 50 kilometers away from you, it doesn't bring anything. Whereas you can have cyclone passing 200 kilometers away from you and bring a lot of rainfall to Mauritius. So all these cyclones have a different specificities depending on where they are formed, what was the atmospheric condition, and also what was the oceanic heat content, that is the energy given by the ocean to the system. And how do you know? This is the work of a meteorologist. Okay, so we have different kind of observation from our island, and we do regular observation at Vakwa, Plaisance, Akalika, Saint-Brando, and all the countries. All this information is shared at global level. And the other thing, we have like drifters, which are like instruments that are drifting around in the ocean, so they give valuable information. Over and above, we have satellite imagery. So when we take all the information as observed and also take into consideration models, that is every 6 hours we get a new model run and it changes every time. So the meteorologist has been trained, has been given the, I would say, the academic and theoretical background about meteorology, and also they have built up their own capacity. Okay, so they will know that which cyclone is associated with which type of phenomena. So that's not something that you just take a look and say, okay, it's going to bring rainfall. It takes some kind of very intense scientific analysis, and this analysis is also agreed by the region. That is, all the countries in the region do the same, follow the same protocol.
Now heading to the center, more precisely to Catobon, where a passionate of weather and cyclones will explain and tell us anecdotes on the past cyclones which impacted the island.
Alors, moi je suis Denis, je suis un amateur de la météorologie et je suis très intéressé dans les cyclones depuis très longtemps. Alors, depuis 60 ans, je regarde les cyclones, je regarde des coupures de journaux. Donc, il y avait, bon, je me souviens du cyclone Carole, bon, j'étais encore enfant. Mais seulement, j'ai vu des maisons, surtout le cyclone Carole qui a passé sur 4 bornes. Il y a eu beaucoup de dégâts, toutes les maisons étaient à plat. Il y avait même des toitures qui sortaient, qui sont volées, allaient tomber dans la cour des autres personnes.
Another cyclone that greatly impacted Mauritius is Gervais in February 1975. As Carole, it was declared as intense cyclone and was all over Mauritius. The most violent gusts recorded in the Indian Ocean were of 280 km per hour during Gervais. Can you imagine the strength? Just for you to have an idea of the power produced by the wind, it is proportional to the square of its speed, which means that a 200 km per hour wind is not twice but 4 times as powerful as a 100 km per hour wind. Do we need cyclones? This is an unusual question, isn't it? It's been exactly 13 years that we did not have any cyclones in Mauritius, and as a result, there is an overpopulation of bats, which is why the government today are conducting a massive shooting of bats on the island. To conclude, cyclones are part of our heritage indirectly, because either in a good or a bad way, they have greatly impacted our island.